Hey guys, welcome back. Thank you for clicking this video. Today I'm coming in with some pre-cruise questions that I am going to answer. These questions are from the lovely Miss Amy, who always sends me great questions and topics to talk about. And today she wanted to know a few things about what I do pre-cruise to get ready for a trip. So thank you so much to Miss Amy. Let's get into these questions. Number one, how far in advance do you normally book your cruises? So usually, I would say more recently, I'll book a year, maybe a year and a half out. It really just depends. My just the last couple of years of cruising have been really group focused. So I book those out pretty far in advance to give people enough time to join. Shameless plug, hosting a group cruise with my good friend Veronica on the Margaritaville at Sea Islander in June. We're setting sail on their inaugural sailing, so you can definitely join us. And I'm doing my groupcation in August to Alaska on the Carnival Spirit. I will leave a link in the description box to the videos giving all of that information, just in case you want to join. Back to the topic at hand. So usually I try to book at least a year and a half out. Number two, how last minute have you ever booked a cruise? Probably like 6 months or so. Just about 6 months. Yeah, not too far, not very last minute. I'm definitely more of a planner, so very last minute doesn't work well for me. Number three, do you try to fly with the same airline? I'm not like loyal to any airline, but I do travel with Frontier probably the most. I've, they usually have the right prices that I think is a decent enough price. Sometimes I'll go with Spirit but Spirit has been coming up on prices that you like, wait a minute, this ain't no budget airline. So actually mainly by default, I fly with Frontier, and I always, if you've ever flown with Frontier, they have a different animal on all of the wings of their plane. So every time I get on Frontier and I'm just crossing over from the gangway onto the actual plane, right there's always a little poster of what animal you're flying with. And I always tap the animal. It's like my own little ritual. And whatever it is, I'll say their name, and it'll be like, oh, you're flying with Susie the Swan. And I'll tap it and I'll be like, all right, Susie, let's get there safely. So in that sense, I guess, I fly Frontier mostly. Number four, do you collect frequent flyer miles? Well, I do collect miles with Frontier. I do have some collected up. I have a little bit in like Southwest, but I don't fly Southwest enough to really accumulate a lot. And I don't know if I have any with Spirit, but I mean, I do have like numbers and stuff like that, but I think right now the most I have is with Frontier. I don't even know if I have enough to use towards a flight. I've actually never tried. I need to look into that. Number five, do you book directly with the airline or with a third-party site like Expedia? Typically I just go on to the website of the airline. I actually have apps on my phone for Southwest, Frontier, Spirit, American Airlines. So I will always check those four first, because those are the ones that I typically will frequent, and I kind of compare prices. Every now and then I'll look on Expedia, but usually it's probably $10 to $20 more on Expedia, because now you're going to have to pay their fees for booking through their site. So it's just easier to book with the actual airline. Number six, is there an airline you try to avoid if you can? the one with the highest price. Typically, every time I look like on Southwest, it's crazy expensive. And I know you get the 2 bags that fly for free. So sometimes it's worth it to pay a couple extra for Southwest. But usually, if I do Frontier and I need to purchase a bag, it's still coming out a little bit cheaper than flying Southwest. Um, I know like United usually is very expensive and Delta, but avoiding them for whatever reasons, no, I don't. I only avoid flights that are too expensive for my taste. Number 7, have you ever canceled a cruise because the flights were just too high? No. No ma'am, no ham, no turkey. Listen, I will just suck it up. Sometimes you just gotta take one for the team, chalk it up to the game. I've been lucky enough that flying from Delaware to Florida, which is usually where we'll fly out of, is never really crazy priced. So I haven't. And then the few times that I've sailed out of places that were not Florida, it's still about the same. Luckily, I haven't come across a flight that's too bad. Although this summer we're flying to Seattle for the Alaska cruise, and I haven't even looked at the flights yet. And I've heard it can be really expensive to fly there, but there's no way I'm going to cancel the cruise unless something extreme happens. So I just got to suck it up and pay what they asking. Number 8, when you have to fly to a port, do you always go the day before? Yes. I try to make it a habit to always fly in a day before sailing. I've been on 25 cruises and only twice have I flown in the day of sailing, and both times was stressful. I don't honestly, I think it gives you a more peace of mind to go the day before, because there's just, you never know, it could happen. The first time it happened to me, my flight was canceled the night before. So I had no choice but to fly in the next morning. And it was, really scary for me, because I'm like, what if something goes wrong? What if the next day flight gets canceled? And then the second time I booked with Carnival, their Fly to Fun. I was a little less worried about that one, because I've heard that, if you book with them and your flight's delayed, then the ship has to wait for you. But both times it worked out. But it's not something that I would love to practice more. Plus, I like to get there early, relax, chill out, enjoy a little downtime, because I feel like travel day starts your vacation, and I don't want travel day to be the actual day I get on the ship. I want my travel day to be just get up early, catch the first flight out, get to the hotel, have a drink or two, just relax, and get myself excited for the next day. So I always try to go the day before. Number 9, when would you consider flying the day of? If I booked with the cruise line and it's a guarantee that if we're a little bit late, they're going to wait for me. It would have to be something really like important going on at home that I had to be at to make me have to go, like the day of. Or if for some crazy reason flights was just astronomical on the day before, but on the day of, it could save me hundreds of dollars, then I would probably do it, as long as I'm on the first flight out. I need to be on the first thing smoking, because I've learned that those typically don't cancel. Once the day gets started and life starts happening, sometimes them later flights can get canceled, but that first one is usually out on time. Number 10, what are your top tips for flying to a cruise? I would say always check your flights. Like, once you know you're going on a cruise, you got it booked, start looking at the flights. Like, trying to keep an eye out on them. I've also learned on Frontier, sometimes the flights are a little bit cheaper on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I don't know why. It's just always the way it seems to be. So keep an eye on your flights, or even check train schedules, bus schedules, whatever's going to get you there the cheapest is good for me. I'm not one that needs to be in first class or pay extra for a seat and all that type of stuff. Just get me on the plane, get me there safely, and I'm good. I also would say number one tip is to fly the day before, 2 days if you can afford it, if you want to see, if you're going to a new area and you want to see it. Also, when flying, and think about where you want to stay. Find a hotel that has free airport shuttle, because we balling on the budget, so we don't want to pay for stuff that we don't have to. So if the airport, if the hotel has free airport shuttle, that's a good way to save you a few dollars in Uber rides. So also look into that. If sightseeing is really big for you, then I would say stay somewhere at a hotel that has in that that tourist area. But also check out airport hotels too, because sometimes those are not as expensive as going into a town. But definitely for flying in, and compare your prices, and then don't overpack. You don't need all that stuff. Like, just whatever you got, take a couple things out. You're not going to wear all that stuff anyway. Don't pay a whole bunch of flight baggage fees for stuff that you're not going to use. Number 11, do you prefer early boarding or late boarding? I'm more of a later boarding type of person, or kind of in the middle. I like to board about 11:30, just because it's a little less crowded. More recently, the terminals have been they've been on it. They've been keeping people in and out. But if I'm staying at a hotel, it gives me time to relax in the morning. I just like a nice peaceful vacation. So I will usually pick the 11:30 to 12 check-in. A couple times I've checked in at 1, and that's been great also. It just depends, if you got to get out of the hotel by 11 anyway. Some hotels don't have to check out till 12, so you could pick a later time if you don't have to leave your hotel till 12 o'clock. But I prefer to go a little bit later, just so I can have a relaxing start to my day. Not to mention just being able to walk right on, and not have to worry about carrying my bags too long and stuff like that. And yes, definitely to get out of the crowd, because if you go at 10 o'clock, it's like people are still getting off the ship, people are trying to get on the ship, so that port area is a madhouse, and you're trying to get your bags to the porters. You don't know who's coming and going, so I'd rather get most of that cleared out before I show up. Number 12, do you get casino offers to cruise? Yes, I do get casino offers with Carnival. And I do use I use the casino offers a lot, which is great. I'm not really a picky one for cabins, so if they're offering me a free inside cabin, I'm going to take it. Or usually I can get an ocean view for $100 per person. It just depends on what offer I have, and then a lot of the offers, I really like that you can use the same offer on 3 different sailings, so you can book, and then you can upgrade too with the offers. You can get balconies or suites if that's what you want to do, but also I'll get perks slot dollars to play in the casino, free drinks usually while I'm in the casino for me and whoever I'm cruising with. So there are some good little perks to it. But the casino offers definitely will come in handy for cutting the costs of my cruises. So Carnival, keep sending them to me, please. Number 13, what is the cheapest cruise you've ever taken? That would be my first ever solo cruise on the Carnival Conquest back in 2022, and that was one that I used a deal. It was a free offer. It was just me. I had free drinks, I had casino money, I only had to pay my port fees and taxes. It was fabulous. want to thank Miss Amy, as always, for her questions. I enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed it as well. If you have any pre-cruise tips for everybody, leave a comment down below. Let us know. If you have any pre-cruise questions, leave it in the comments, and I will do my best to answer it. If you've made it this far in the video and you are not subscribed to my channel, hit that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.